Welcome to the passion of the digital artist. And here he is, the digital artist himself, Jeff Mueller.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey Xavier.
Hey Jeff, how you doing?
Words can't describe this week. It was a very, very special, exciting week. A lot has happened, and a lot going forward is going to happen. So we're right now going to hurry up and get this vlog going. First off, American Art Collector is out.
Yay!
Everybody, run out and buy one. Then there's the article.
What page is that on, Jeff?
Print. Pages 41 and 40 and 41. And it's the same as the PDF, but to actually hold it, smell it, see it, go buy it, there's a certain validity that goes with that. So if you get a chance, check it out, or even just read it at your bookstore. So that works good. Then second of all, I have this magazine that I found out while I was running to the bookstore every day for about a week and a half waiting for that to come out. I was able to discover this. This is called Social Media Monthly. Well worth it. Anybody who is trying to promote themselves through social media, this magazine is well worth it. It gives you detailed descriptions of pretty much everything happening with social media and what they think is going on, and statistics of all the Facebook, Twitter, Google+, all the statistics are there. It's a very interesting read. Now that brings us to the next thing. Me and Xavier today.
Greetings, everyone.
Xavier will now be public for this one and only vlog.
Be scared, people.
He is a part of my Mysterious Absinthe Drinker painting that I started the whole thing, the process that we've been thinking about it and coming up with what we thought would be a good painting for this. We kind of had the idea throwing it around, well, this is the start. It is now put into my digital camera, and it's going to become a painting in the next couple of weeks. So this part of the vlog, I'm now going to turn over to that set. Here, me and Xavier are on the set of the Mysterious Absinthe Drinker. Hey Xavier.
Hey Jeff.
And Xavier is going to be my subject matter for the Mysterious Absinthe Drinker. We've got our absinthe fountain and cup and lucid absinthe right here. And it's going to be the subject of my next painting. So what I wanted to do is kind of, me and Xavier I wanted to talk about what goes into the photographic part of making, how I go about making the underpainting for my paintings. So Xavier being the model, and now that he's on camera, but you can see, I wanted something very specific. He's wearing a black turtleneck. He's got his black hair, trimmed up goatee, very fine. And then the eyes will be very important. There's been, in the past, there's been Degas, Picasso, and Monet, who have all produced paintings called the Absinthe Drinker. We've always talked about doing this, correct?
Yes, we have.
And we finally did it. So what we're showing right here with this particular, what would you say, vlog aspect, we are showing the set of how I go about creating my digital art. This is how I create the underpainting. I first will set up a little studio in my house with the backdrop, gray backdrop, black tablecloth. I put up and then I shot shots of Xavier straight on, and then also in position. So, and then if she looks, for this one I didn't use my digital camera, I used my 35mm Canon. And then also you could take a look at, just show them if you can, the umbrella that I use for the lighting. So this one I have a special kind of thought of what I want this painting to be. It's not similar to the other paintings that have been done. It's more or less Xavier coming out at you from the dark. and it's very mysterious. So that's what I'm going for this. So what did you think about your first photo shoot?
A lot more effort than I thought. Also, it was interesting to watch your creative process unfold.
So that's what we did this week, and we'll get back to the vlog. Welcome back. What I'd like to do now is give a shout out to Kathy LaRocco, who is at Fig by Cal on Twitter. She has, this week, is my supporter on my website, who's really motivated me. A very beautiful, elegant artist. Check her out. Make sure you check her out. That then brings me to 5th and 61st Street from last week. This is for him. We're going to cover Underwater Adventure. I'd just like to talk about that a little bit right now. Underwater Adventure is the 10th in the series. It's the last painting that I did in the series. It was a painting that I went to New Orleans, and I had so many to choose from, but I picked this particular painting because of the perfection that this moment that I had captured presents, and then went through and what I did to really make it all work. But there's a lot of things going on as far as the subject matter. There's a family right over here with their kids, and you get the complete family structure that's happening over there. Then you have the wonderment of another family, either a daughter, a mother, grandma, what have you, looking at the awe of the aquarium, that tube that they're in. And then you have the two people up in front that are in kind of like a trance, walking into the tube. And then it's the interaction between them all, and then what you have as far as pulling you around in the composition of the painting. This particular painting was a little bit more difficult than the others because there's so much happening, and there's so much that I was taking out and adding in just to make sure. For instance, what was happening here, I toned down his shirt. This is actual reflection in his shirt. It was a lot redder, but I toned it down because I want, once again, because you're dealing with underwater feel, the feel of, the way it would, the lighting from above and the blueness, it almost encapsulates you, that even though they're not underwater, they have an underwater feel, and then you have the actual underwater, and then you have the see-through through the tunnel, and then how I use the colors to bring you through and around. Like it's very predominantly blue, but we have the oranges that are happening back here, a little bit here, through here in the reflections, but then into the kids' clothing. And then you're also dealing with the blues and how that is able to bring you throughout the whole painting process and around, so that you're never getting stuck in one area. The painting, probably out of all the paintings, is my most successful. I Photoshopped 5, CS5, it's the first one I did with that. The brushes that I was able to use in that particular program really allowed me to get the detail in what I was looking for. So I was able to pay attention to some of the other detail that in some cases was a lot more difficult to get with the CS4 Photoshop program. And then once it came out, the one area here, his face, this young man's face right there, I was having a lot of trouble with in CS5, and I was able to paint the detail and what I wanted that face to look like outside in the acrylics.
Explain a little bit when you say you had trouble with the face.
Well, sometimes just getting something to feel right, and what's happening in this underwater, and then you're looking at right here is an extreme focus. He's not as an extreme focus as here, and as you go back here, the focus backs off a little bit. So what I was dealing with his face, because in the actual photograph, his face, the man had moved and it was blurry. Same thing, this boy down here was blurred. And it seems like with children, to paint their detail back in is really quite simple. But to paint his face in shadow like this, you can see that there was some detail for me to work with. Here his face was in shadow, there wasn't a lot for me to work with. So I had to go in and pretty much make up his face. And it did, when I printed it out, I wasn't happy with it. It just wasn't working for me. So I went back in with the acrylics and made it to the point where it matched everything else that's going on. Plus,
you really captured the moment. I had the pleasure of being with you there. That's at the Aquarium in the Americas in New Orleans, and it's really a fascinating place, and especially that tunnel where you're completely underwater. It's just mesmerizing, and I think you captured that element along with the mesmerizing effect on the people in the tunnel quite well.
Thank you. The last part was there was a person here, and I painted the person out of here and out of this area so that I could capture what these two people looking up were doing. So that's where my artistic talent really comes in, because I'm pretty much painting in what's not there. And then it's painting in, matching what's happening, and then using your memory of what should be happening and what little bit you have to use to paint out the people that were causing a distraction. It's not that the people themselves were, it was breaking up the flow of the painting. So that's the kind of thing that I do. So that brings us to the next step. Let's do the weigh-in.
There we go with the weigh-in. And we see Jeff's feet stepping onto the scale.
Yay! 257.5.
257.5. There it is, folks. I'm trying to get it focused on. Congratulations.
Well, and here is the absinthe that I was drinking from the photo shoot. Cheers, Xavier.
Cheers, Jeff.
It was a prop, so we had to do something.
We had to do something with it, yes. Yes. Always drink responsibly and only if you're of age.
I was waiting until after the weigh-in because I couldn't have that in there. It would have taken it to 280.
Yeah, now you got a whole week to burn off the absinthe you've drank, so there you go.
That brings us to this week. We're bringing back the social media hero, and that's Ron Christie. Ron Christie is my social media hero for a number of reasons, but when I became aware of what he was doing, and it was when he started making comments on my artwork, and it was very flattering comments. It motivated me, and it just from within his comments made me happy for what I'm doing and what I'm what I'm trying to accomplish. He was acknowledging that, but in a way that really made me feel good. So I kind of checked him out, and when I checked him out, he's exactly the reason why I want to make him the social media hero, is because he's using social media and has found out how to use social media through trial and error, similar to what I've been doing. He says he wants a video blog, but he doesn't yet have the he's not motivated enough to make himself go on camera. He's a little bit shy. So he was very, complimentary that I was doing the video blogging. So I figured I'd put him on because he's figured out a couple things, that when you're using social media, you're not promoting yourself, you're promoting others, because you're trying to give some information that others would want to see, and then at the same time, everything that you're doing will fall into place. You meet a lot of people that are connections, and that's what the goal is with social media, and he's doing that. He started out doing it to promote his wife, Wendy, who's a jazz folk kind of singer. I'll have a link to her site where you can listen to her music. And then he is a woodworker, makes some beautiful, beautiful furniture. From his non-commissioned work, he actually uses recycled older furniture, dining room tables, benches, that type of thing, to make his more creative pieces. And they are spectacular.
They are fantastic. They'll pop your eyes out if you go to his website. They are really beautiful pieces of work.
So he's designed things on the Macintosh since 1984. He's been around. He's kind of like what a lot of people are, but he's starting to do things through his blog. His picture blog that he does. That's where I first met him, because he was promoting Late Afternoon Supper and really had some nice comments and things to say. He's also on Pinterest, and he's finding different social medias to see what will best fit him, and that's what you're supposed to do. So that's why he's my social media hero, Ron Christie.
Thanks, Ron. Beautiful work.
And thanks, everybody. Till next week. Hopefully I lose a couple more pounds than just one, but we'll go from there.
Take care, folks. Bye-bye.